So welcome to the first video on the Pilot 2.3 training. This section covers a basic overview and the requirements of the Multisoft Pilot. It can be a little difficult to understand what the various software programs that RegaMed supply and which ones you need. So here is a basic overview. Currently there are 3 software programs on the same CD that comes when you order a Pilot. There's the Pilot, the Viewer and the Test Program. I will mention the Net Framework on the installation video. Currently these software programs are on the same CD. You probably won't need to understand the first 2 programs, but here is an overview. The Multisoft Pilot Viewer is a software that's rarely used, and it is designed for practices with more than 2 BICOMs installed, and it allows a manager to see what programs are being run on each BICOM. So please do not install this from the CD. Then you'll see the Multisoft Test. This program is the method used for testing prior to the Multisoft Pilot CTT. It contains over 12,000 stored substances and substance complexes, each of which can be tested and used as a therapy on the BICOM. The advantages over the Pilot CTT is that each pathogen is individual rather than in a family of pathogens. For example, you could find the exact liver parasite on the Multisoft test, but with the Pilot CTT you only get the family of those particular pathogens. For example, all parasites that live in the liver. So it's good for specifics is the Multisoft test, but it takes much longer to test, as you can imagine. When the Multisoft test came out, it was a huge advantage when compared to having lots of glass ampules either in your clinic or in the back of your vehicle. So an overview of the few of the advantages. Well, as we've mentioned, it's a huge time and labour saving software during testing. It's a rapid testing of individual substances and substance complexes in groups. That means that when you start you can set it to test 10 things at once, and then if you get resonance you click the apply button and it goes to 5 and then to 2 and then to 1, so you can find the resonance a lot quicker. So priority testing is used to determine the strongest stress. Storing of individual compiled recipes against a patient record, it can also be done, and all tests ever done are stored in the patient's file. You can create your own questionnaire as well, which is really good. So in other words, you have a questionnaire that links to defined responses, so the answers, and then they go to appropriate therapies that you've set, so this can speed things up. Well, the next program is used every time a computer is connected to the BICOM, and that's the Multisoft Pilot. The Pilot software, which allows a BICOM device to be comfortably operated via a PC. This software is also the interface for the Multisoft test and the platform for the Substance Digitizer and the Multisoft Viewer. The Pilot offers the following features. It's clear and easy to operate the BICOM with the software. You can easily select complex processes which would take you a lot longer if you were manually punching them onto the front of the BICOM. It's got real-time search function for therapy programs, so if you just want to say search for a liver program, you type liver and it brings up all the liver programs. If you already know the program number, you type that into a different box and again it quickly takes you to that program. Also, it's easy to individualize a particular program as well. You just click on the program, click individualize, and you can change all the parameters. What's really good as well is the display of electrode placement. So if you click the little I button, a screen pops up and you can see exactly where you place the electrodes. Again, this would have to be done on 2 or 3 screens on the BICOM itself. One thing that's really progressed is the controlling of channel 2 for BICOMmultisoft devices. So before, you could maybe run a program for 20 minutes and you would just have to select one channel 2 on the BICOM directly, but now you can have many channel 2 substances running during a BICOM basic therapy, for instance. It's got a comfortable real-time search function for substance complexes as well. So as you know, in the new BICOMs there are over 400 substance complexes that can be administered at the same time as a therapy, and that's very easy to search for those now. It's got extensive administration of patients' data, including storage and documentation of all therapies and the tests given. All tests and therapies are stored in the patient file, and the last session can be called up at a later date for another therapy. Variable allocation of substance complexes to each individual program. For instance, you can drop substance complexes in during any program sequence. The EAP, or the electroacupuncture testing, this pressure curve is shown during testing and allows you to monitor the test, which is a lot easier than doing it on the device. The display of charts of the tested EAP values also can be printed out, previous records stored and brought up and compared with your current one. So this includes before and after comparisons. The logical program structure makes the operation of the BICOM device through the BICOMmultisoft Pilot simple and reduces the workload. Let's have a look at the CTT now. The CTT is digitized substances of the combined test technique. The test sets needed for the combined test technique are available in ampules or digitized. So if you have them all digitized, this is where they're all stored on the Multisoft Pilot. The CTT is a sophisticated test and therapy systematic which enables you to test and treat the patient with the appropriate ampules within a very short time. Compared to the manual test, the digitized test set offers essential advantages. It's extremely fast testing in the individual testing mode or in the automatic testing mode. The pathogens are grouped in families. The automatic testing mode takes you step by step through the test. All tests and therapies are automatically stored under the patient's name. The stored test results can be called up at any time and individually allocated different ampules to various programs. The program informs you of if you've selected an ampule that's not suitable for that particular therapy. So again, that's also essential to make sure you put in the ampule on the right program. We do need to mention the body scanner because this also contains digital frequencies, which is similar to the Multisoft test and the CTT ampules. If people are new to bioresonance testing and have the available funds, the ideal solution is the BICOMmultisoft with a body scanner. But it's important to decide the route you wish to take because it's possible to duplicate purchased frequencies. Our recommended option is to purchase the BICOMmultisoft and to purchase CTT kits as your business grows. So what about the requirements for the software? Well, RegaMed software doesn't run on a Mac. I often get people asking whether it will, and some have successfully installed it onto a Mac using the Parallels software, but that's not supported by RegaMed, so do so at your own risk. We recommend buying an entry-level laptop that can be used purely for your patients. You have to consider data security, and it's much easier if you just use a password protected and dedicated laptop. If possible, get a computer with a CD drive, as the Pilot comes with a CD, but if this is not possible, we can email the installation files via email. So hopefully that explains a little bit more. Obviously this is just the first video and there's more to come, So please stay tuned to watch part 2, where we will discuss the installation of the Multisoft Pilot onto your PC.